Hi everyone, this is Alicia Smith from Alicia Smith Designs, and I have a project share for you today. I'm participating in Anna from MemorydexObsessed on Instagram on her secret witch swap again this year, which is always a lot of fun. And so our partners don't know who we got, and they don't know who they're getting a surprise from. So we were tasked with creating a cauldron and decorating it any way we'd like. Also, filling it with candy, of course, 2 wands, 1 memory dex, 1 3-pennant banner, and a surprise. And we were to use a Frank Garcia paper, or at least that's what I chose to use. I used 31, and it's a one-on-one swap. So let me share with you what I've created. I created a number of things. I'll start with the banner. So bear with me while I get it in frame. So I chose to make poison bottles. See if I can adjust you a little bit. I made poison bottles on my Cricut, and I think I did a sneak peek a couple of weeks ago as I was working on these. And I wanted to make shakers. I've been trying desperately, but not so successfully, to reduce my crafty spending and using my Cricut more. And so I chose to make these poison bottles. So I'll show you what they look like unattached. So I just designed them on Cricut. These are some that I made that are not shakers. This is one that is a shaker that's just kind of plain. And here are a few others. So I decided, since I had those, let's make a banner out of them. And so as you can see here, I started with I never have a fully actualized plan in my head. I just start crafting and we just see what we come up with. So this all kind of just came together as it came together. But I definitely started with these poison bottles. I decorated the poison bottles. They're shakers. We started there. Then it was like, okay, if you're going to make a banner, how will you attach them? So then I put a piece of velvet ribbon in the back to make a loop, and that's how they're attached. To decorate them, I used several items from my stash. Now, if you followed me for just a minute, you know that last year I didn't have any Halloween, and I made all my items by hand, and I don't want to do that again. So I overcorrected. So I went shopping, and so I got some Halloween stuff. So this came from Target, and it's these ghost breaths from Target last year. And this is just some raffia from my stash. These die cuts and flowers. So this is a punch that I have. I just made some flowers out of that. This is some greenery I had left over. These are all die cuts from, I'll show you the dies here shortly that I overcorrected with because I have several now. These are just ribbons from my stash. And then I just made a dangle and attached it there. That's that one. This girl I've had as a sticker for several years, so I decided to use her. You Are So Beautiful came from that same sticker pack. Created a handmade banner. Those same flowers from my punch. These are just punches from Stampin' Up. And that's a shaker there. Raffia again. And then this third one, these are printout. This is a printout I just printed off the internet. Again, some of those dies I'll talk to you about. These are flowers from punches that I have in my stash, as well as some ribbon, and then a dangle. This is from BB's Craft, I think, and some raffia. So those are the bases of the banner. And then I just started adding stuff. So then I said, okay, let me get some ribbon. So I found a pink, an orange, and a black ribbon, and decided we'll put those in there. So I had to think through, how do you attach that? I put knots in there. These are candy corn pieces from Ideology. Hot glued them on, had a string. So then I had several of those die cuts. I just sandwiched them in between the string. Had some beads in my stash. We're going to put those in there. Made a dangle here. Made the word boo here off of this dangle. Some more string. I kept the strings on and just kind of made them messy. Attached some spiders from the venomous spiders from Target last year. Took some of those out. Attached a spider there. This is a ghost from those dies that I talked to you about earlier that I'll show you in a second. Some more beads, and I repeated that a couple of times, and this is what we have. There's a little hat, and then I made a tassel using some yarn from my stash, and there we go. If you go to my Instagram, I'll have a picture of the banner up. So that's the banner. And so then once you make the banner, then you have to figure out, well, where you gonna put it in. So then I made a box, and so my cauldron had to be much bigger, so we'll talk about that here in a second. I made a box. So these are some items I had left over from last year from Dollar Tree. That's one of those Dollar Tree spiders. Again, that same yarn and tulle and netting that I had. This is leftover, just some trim that I have. I think I got this from last year from Dollar Tree. It does not match. That bothers me, but we're going to move on. This is another one of those same spiders. I just used some black marker and we attached it. And so the lid comes off and that banner will stick right in there. And it's cute and all, but the little fringe gets in the way of attaching it, but it works out. And that's just a little eye that I had from my stash. So that's my little homemade box that's going to hold the banner. Then I'll take and show you the dies I use. So these are word dies that you'll see soon. Here's a set of dies that I got. This is a die and stamp set that I use the witch hats from. And then I got KS Craft, the Halloween add-on. So as you can see, I did the most. And that's just what it is. That's just how I went. So based upon that, here's the cauldron. All of this stuff will fit in here. Let's just kind of go through it. These are the word dies that I just showed you that I used. Now this bag topper is from Auntie Malone from SoCal Creative. Last year she was a partner of mine in a swap, and she created this little bag topper and bag. So I just used her same backing and put the letters here. She had another item that I'll show you that I used in here. So I just reused this, and I added this bow and flower. I think my little center came off. I'll have to put that back on. She created this here, and so I just reused it. I thought it was really cute. This clip I created, this has been in my stash for a minute, and because it is a little patinaed, I felt like it was best used for Halloween. And I just made this pom-pom and put some beads on it and added all of that to the bulldog clip. And then I'm, as a surprise, gifting her some items from the Dollar Tree, packaging it all up as if it were a clipboard. And there we have it. So that's what that looks like. We can just run through the items in here. This is from Hobby Lobby, and then I just added some charms from BB Craft on there. This is a homemade card using some of those die cuts. I wrote the word spooky. I outlined it, used some scrap paper, and that's a 3x3 card for my recipient. For my Memdex, because I made so many of those poison boxes, or bottles, excuse me, I made a poison bottle Memdex as well. There we go. Again, this is from 31. These are flowers. I printed this ink on my computer. There's another boo. That ghost I did on my Cricut last year. This is a butterfly punch, little charm that I made. Some twine and wrapped it around. There's some more of that same, there it is right here. This is the ribbon that I'm using, and that's my Memdex. So I just made a bunch of those items and found different ways to use them. So I'll put that up later. Then the 2 wands. So I ended up making 3 wands only because I needed something to put this gum in. I was trying to be creative with that. It's not amazing, but she can take the gum off, use it, and reuse these items. These are just items I had in my stash. I had this straw already. Put a pom-pom on the bottom. There's that same ribbon. Put the gum here. She likes watermelon and candy corn. So here's the watermelon gum. And then these are printouts I did last year. And here's one of those die cuts. And that's a rosette I already had in my stash. And we got a wand out of the candy. This witch right here is so cute. It's a shaker, and Andy Malone made that and included it in this packaging for me. So I took that apart. So I reused the packaging, took her cauldron and witch boot and put it on top of a rosette that I got in a swap last year. Used that same ribbon. Here's a die cut piece that I've had in my stash forever. Here's another rosette, a piece of paper. I just cut out a circle. And then these items I put together. So this is a part of those die cuts that I just showed you. This is from my Cricut. This comes from the paper pack, the chipboard set. I added some trim on the bottom, used some orange crepe paper to make this backing here, and added some charms from my stash and from BB Craft. Straw I already had, and put a pom-pom on it. And this is wild and crazy, and I like it. It turned out great. And so thank you to Andy. And, you know, a lot of times we get these beautiful items from our scrap partners or swap partners, and it's like, what do I do with them? And so I was really proud of the way I used that. This is another example of using what you have. This piece here is a die cut that I got from a swap last year. This piece is from the chipboard collection. These are those die cuts that I showed you. This is from my Cricut. This again is a chipboard from the die cuts. And then this is a Cricut piece that I made last year. This is some tulle. And I love that wavy banner that Scrap Diva has, but I don't have that. So I just used one of my dies. That's a banner die, and cut it out. So I was inspired by Scrap Diva's die on that. And I already had the straw, and I put a pom-pom on the bottom of that. Here's some candy, those candy corns that my recipient will like. I've used some other candy and spiders in here to make it just as spooky as possible. And then I decorated the cauldron. So this is a hodgepodge of things. Again, I don't start with an overall plan. I just start and we just see how we end up. So this banner set here is from Scrap Diva. No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's from Stampin' Up. It's a punch. So it punches out the little ruffly band triangle, and then the square triangle. And then I made them into candy corn myself, just cutting them apart, and decorated each one. That's how I started. Then I said I got to put it on something, so I punched a hole in it and ran the string through, and so that was the banner. Then I had more of this orange trim. I trimmed the whole cauldron. This cauldron is from, I think, the Dollar Tree. Then I had this little ribbon, and I made a quick bow, put some twine around it, put some beads on it. Then I have these flowers from the Dollar Tree, and put that on there. And I balled up some of that same ribbon, put that there. Had some flowers in my stash from, I think, Dollar Tree last year. These are some styrofoam bones from the Dollar Tree. There's some trim from or some greenery from my stash. These little scullies, let's see. These are from Dollar Tree. These are the, what are they called? Bones from Dollar Tree. This is the chipboard stickers from 31 or Luna, one of those. And then also from Dollar Tree are these scullies here. They're stickers, and so I used 2 of them here, and this boo was in that same package. This rosette was in my stash, and then here's some other just trims I threw together to... One thing I love about Halloween is that, at least Halloween crafting, I should say. I don't typically celebrate Halloween, but Halloween crafting is you can throw things together and it'll be just fine. And so that's what I did. Threw some things together, it's just fine. And then mirrored what I did on that side on this side. These are trims, and that's it. Hopefully I'm in frame, you can see them. And so that's the cauldron. That's what's inside the cauldron. I will have some pictures of how this all turns out on my Instagram. It's Alicia Smith Designs on Instagram as well. And I thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully you got some inspiration from this hodgepodge of projects that I put together. And I definitely hope that my swap partner likes it. And thank you again to Anna for allowing me to participate. Thank you so much, and have a great day.